I have 4 more days with this class, and today I'm going to be teaching math and social studies. For math, I'm more worried about the pacing just because this class specifically, they need a lot of directions to get things done, but we're going to use manipulatives, so I'm hoping that gets them more engaged. And for social studies, we're just labeling the oceans and the continents, so I'm going to have them use the globe that they made last week to help with the lesson.
Went to a closet and stretched to reach the top shelf. She pulled out, take one of those stickies and put it in the right spot. Angel. Diwali.
No deal or no deal or seal? That doesn't make any sense. No seal.
Deal or no deal or seal?
Yeah,
That
no
would be
seal.
silly.
No seal.
No seal.
That doesn't make any sense. Can I get a head start?
Yes, you can get a head start.
What do you mean? Like an apple. Kind of like that.
This lesson turned out pretty bad. The students are super slow at labeling stuff, so I should have made them get these globes and point to the place, then write it down. I wanted them to write it down so that they would have something to refer to later, but not the best idea. This was my math lesson, and the students got to use manipulatives to create a model of the problem first and then draw it out and use that to answer the problems and then figure out the difference between multiplying with ones and tens. For this lesson, I had a really hard time getting the students to conceptually understand that if you're multiplying by a 10, then the place value gets shifted to the left. I mean, we did a lot of different kinds of problems, like using manipulatives, drawing it out, comparing and contrasting the two different multiplication problems, like 5 times 3 versus 5 times 30. We did place value chart to recognize that the place value changed. And then I had them do this one, 9 times 30, but it wasn't clicking in their head. So I had to resort to procedural, cover the 0, do 9 times 3, add a 0 in the end, 270. And then when it was practice time, I guided them through the first 2 problems and had them do numbers 3 and 4. And it was the last 3 minutes where they finally got it. So, flop. My host teacher did say that most of them wouldn't understand it conceptually anyways, and that they would have practice in the future. Like, this isn't the only lesson where they're learning this topic, so I shouldn't worry about it too much. So hopefully tomorrow's better. I'm going to be teaching about area. I'm doing my hair so that I can feel better about myself today. At first, I was going to follow what the curriculum said step by step, and I'm still going to do that, but I decided to add a little more creativity into it just because I think that's how the students would respond better. Like, instead of just making them draw rectangles different from their table groups, I'm going to make it a game of Simon Says. Making it a competitive game will make them work faster. I think I mentioned that this class is extremely slow at following directions, so that's why I'm going to add it into this lesson, and I'll let you know how it goes. Hopefully they understand it a little more than yesterday. It is going to be about area. Yesterday, when I was making them get stuff from their cubbies, I made it a racing game where I timed each table, and it actually worked. They all went under 40 seconds. I mean, I sent them by tables, so that probably took 2 minutes, but I think in general that would take them 5 minutes to do. Yesterday I was actually really discouraged because 2 of my lessons didn't go well, and I only did 2 lessons. So I know it's all a learning curve, and that the point of this is so that I can make mistakes and learn from them. but it just sucks having to spend so much time planning something to go well and it just doesn't happen. And last night I had a really hard time sleeping because I was so stressed about how today will go, but trying to give myself some extra grace and trying to take it one step at a time. I just feel so anxious about every little thing when it comes to teaching. Before I even started PCE, I was worried about student teaching. I was worried about interviews. I was worried about my first year. Ugh. And then you just have to remind yourself to take it one step at a time. So if you have any tips, please let me know because I want more sleep. I made this plan step by step, minute by minute, so that I can gauge the time better because I was late to lunch yesterday. But I'll let you know how it goes. Wish me luck. For writing, we went over what a storyteller's voice sounds like, and the kids got to use their revising pens to add details to their stories. It was pretty fun walking around and reading their stories and helping them out, but I don't know what it is. Whenever I'm teaching, the kids are always raising their hands and wanting me to go to them to help them with something, but I'm pretty clear with my directions, so I don't know if it's them just being dependent on me being next to them and guiding them through it, but they don't do that with their normal teacher. I got confirmation from my teacher that students were always asking how to do stuff, not because they need help, but because they want my attention. And that makes a lot of sense because I'm over here answering a question and over here answering a question, and then they raise their hands again. It's like, you could have asked me the first time. For math, it was a little better than it was yesterday. The students were starting to connect the dots more, but more of them were messing around with the manipulatives than using it to learn. So I had to take it away when we weren't using it and then give them back. So it was a lot of waste of time. It's the very last day of PCE and I got a box of donuts for the staff and they gave me a free sample. But card to go on top, very cute. I also got my host teacher a gift, so chalk markers because she labels everything with it. And I'm actually going to steal this idea because you can just reuse name tags and all of that every year. And succulent pins because that's her favorite. I think I saw her have this on her board, so hopefully she'll still like it. A thank you card that has some memories inside. I also made my students a goodbye card, so they each get a paper bookmark and then a sticker of their favorite animal. I'm going to miss them. Oh my gosh, look at what my teacher put on the board for the students to see when they walk in. Bad news, today is Ms. Trin's last day as a student teacher in our classroom. Good news, we get to see her tomorrow when she steps from...
Then she gave me the other end to turn. She jumped and sang while I turned.
Good morning, teachers, staff, and students. Happy Thursday. Today we are going to practice a fire drill.
Eating snacks? No. Running? No. Wonderful.
Math went so well today. I'm learning how to incentivize the kids to work faster when they're in smaller groups. So I made them compete against each other. And last night I spent some time to make a unit square. So one table was touching the length, the other table had to touch the width, third table had to touch the area, and then fourth table had to tell me what they were holding, which is a unit square. And I also made this poster. It was the best math lesson of the whole week. So I'm feeling good, especially because it's my last day. As simple as it looks, this is the thing that got them to work really fast, just calling them turbo table, and there's no prize or anything.
Chicken crossed the road.
Why did the chicken cross the road?
Because! He heard that. He heard that. Oh my god. He didn't make it. I want to make the pencil. And now I'm going to get the eraser part.
That's a really good pencil. For social studies, I was teaching about physical features of Earth and natural resources. So I had this cup and I put something in it, and I had them guess what it was, and they really enjoyed it. And it was a rock. And then for natural resources, I had bark inside, and they had to guess what it was too. But they were super engaged, and it got them to write down the definitions a lot faster. My teacher also got me a coffee cup to match with her as a goodbye gift, and it means a lot because she was actually my old 4th and 5th grade teacher. So just being in her class was a really special experience for me. And a bunch of goodbye cards from the students. I'm really going to miss them, but I'll see them tomorrow when I'm a sub.